I'm ready. I'm in Heartseeker right now. If you
All
the
right,
time.
let me know when the stream's up, and I'll put it up back up.
It is up.
Give me a second. You're full screen and ready to go.
Yeah. So this is a very interesting skill. Okay, so skill itself, the base functionality is as simply as you shoot an arrow to a target. It ignores everything on its way to whatever you were aiming, and then it hits that, and then it has a chance to hit it again. So basically, it goes through it, comes back and hits again. And one of the key mechanics of this is to increase the recurve chance, so you can hit the same target with one use of the ability many times. So if you guys remember Guided Arrow from D2, in its glory, when it was able to pierce and hit the target multiple times, we basically just did that and added the skill tree.
Okay.
There's a very long, interesting discussion and a lot of design portion of this. One being how do we do the chance to hit the target multiple times? So in D2, you just have a pierce chance, right? And each percentage that you get is just way better than the previous. So if you go from 50% to 75% chance, and then you go from 75 to 100% chance, it's so much more powerful. So we didn't want to have this where it just every single point gets crazy good for multiple reasons. It makes it harder for us to provide the chance in gear and whatnot, because we have to be very careful to not allow you to hit like over 95% chance. We want there to be some volatility so that it's not always hitting 5 times every single time, or 6 times, or 7 times, or whatever. So we couldn't really go with a you have, the first one, like every single time you just pierce once, and then you invest into another pierce chance or stuff like that. So what we ended up being is every single time it successfully recurves, the next one, the chance is just multiplied by a number that keeps going down. So if you start with, I wonder if we have an example here. So let's say that you have 200% chance. You're guaranteed on the first to hit again. And then that 200% chance gets multiplied by 0.8. I'm not going to do math on stream here. Sorry.
160.
Yeah.
1.6.
So you just keep going down until eventually it's no longer a guaranteed chance. And now you run into this point where you have this chance to get like a really nice chain of getting multiple hits, or it just fails. So that's where the volatility comes from. Okay. And then we did a lot of cool stuff on the skill tree. But before I go there, do you have any questions on that?
No, I think that sounds like a really cool way to create that volatility without it feeling bad. I like that.
Yeah, we did a lot of math and simulations, and just probably somebody could go dig it up from some of our chats. But yeah, it was fun.
You maybe show it in action a little bit once you're.
Yeah. Okay. So I have. Oh yeah, this is a base skill only, so I don't have much, but it's all. I have some gear that cool. Keeps me. So it's just, it goes through the enemy and goes back and hits again.
That's nice.
So one of the main reasons for this skill is that we didn't have like a strong, like a single target, like a physical based skill. We have the detonating arrow. We can't convert it to physical. So basically the only physical abilities are just flurry, puncture, and the multi-shot. And you can make multi-shot into a single target ability, but it's not really a single target ability by base. So that's what the Heartseeker is by its like basic design doing.
All right.
You can clear with it. For example, if you take this node, so we were talking about the chances on how many times it goes through an enemy. So we actually pre-calculate this. So if you kill an enemy and you have this node, for every additional chance it would hit the enemy, the additional time it would hit the enemy, instead puncture comes out. So if let's say that you had 10 hits, and you just one-shot the enemy on the first hit, you get 10 punctures just flying around to other enemies. So that's kind of that's basically the only node inside the skill tree itself that builds like AoE.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess another thing about the basic functionality: if the target dies, it will just find a new target to hit with the remaining recurves. I think that's really important. So it doesn't just like vanish. It'll seek another one to do damage to.
And this is screen wide, or
You can shoot it.
It's a
I'm
very
thinking like
large
the
range.
recurve retargeting.
Yeah, the retargeting is very long range.
Okay.
It'll just keep hitting the same target, and then
Like,
if
if
it
the
dies, I
target
think the
dies,
retarget it's probably like half a screen or something. I don't remember exactly how far, but it's pretty far. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if we could probably go find out by going into an area with some normal monsters that die, then I can actually show this or two. But yeah, some other stuff. So obviously we have some just base, recurve chance, and then we talk about the volatility. So this is a cool note because this just sets it so that it'll never go below 66%. So this allows it to potentially go for some crazy amount of hits.
Yeah.
And then obviously we had to put a deck scaler there. So stack decks and you get more recurve chance. We got cold conversion, and we mentioned about the frostbite. So there's some frostbite support on Rogue there. You can convert it to fire, obviously. We have decent amount of bleed and poison support. Like for example, here you can convert your armor shred into poison chance. It kind of reminds I think Runemaster has armor shred to frostbite chance. So
yeah.
we got that there. Yeah, obviously we have the crit hit based stuff here, and then you can combine these. So you can go gold crit, you can go fire crit if you wanted to. For example, Dragon Song with the crits, or you could do Rhino Winter. As you can see, they're proccing there. They're proccing a lot.
They're proccing a lot, yeah.
You can do some fun stuff here. You can make it into mana generator. Because the base mana cost. I have a bow that reduces my mana cost.
I'm so excited for this skill.
Yeah, it has a pretty low. It has a pretty low base mana cost. Obviously, you can increase it with some of the passives that Rogue has, but you can just also turn it into a mana scaler. There's some cool stuff here. You can also change how the. Oh, I should probably put bow back on. As you can see how the
visual pattern.
Yeah, it changes the visual here because this was another thing we debated a lot. Is how should it look like when it recurves back? Because this looks really cool when it goes like that, but not everyone liked it. So that's why we just put it into a node instead. And it has a slow chance there, so it's not entirely just for the theme, but.
All right.
I really want to show you this, so let me.
Knock yourself out. I mean, it's fun. We got a handful of more questions before we're done. Just take your time. Don't worry about it.
We got time.
Yo, we got plenty of time. Go for it.
Just want to show you the base function there.
The leak.
I should probably do
Specialized puncture too, even.
I don't need to do that, but. So you see some punctures are flying off here.
Christ.
Obviously, this is pretty weak enemies, but this is a way to build it.
Oh my god!
And then I guess another cool thing. There's a unique quiver that I don't currently have here that converts puncture to cold currently in the game. What it does not do currently, it doesn't convert the bleed chance from the bloodthirst. The frostbite, but it does in season 2. So you can do a frostbite puncture plus Heartseeker stuff if you want.
Feels good.
So how are you gonna make
the conversion here?
How are we gonna make other builds compete with this type of clear speed?
To be fair, we are in like the lowest.
Yeah. So here's the cold converted one.
So when you don't have a target to hit, it's just going to bounce back and forth where you aimed.
Yeah.
Okay. So you could actually stack up a bunch of arrows before a boss becomes attackable.
Yeah, and then There's a fire.
That looks fantastic.
You can also turn this into a throwing ability. You actually show that on the trailer. It comes from a unique that I don't currently have.
It's a triggered throwing ability at that point, isn't it?
Yeah. So you don't actually throw it yourself. It just comes from the unique. But you have some interesting support here for throwing and spell builds. For example, the dragon song that I was showing earlier. And this is interesting because this scales with how many times you recurve. So there's a reason for you to stack the recurve as much as you can, because you just want the buff to go as high as you want, right? Yeah. And it also keeps throwing. So this is where you could also use this as support kill for some throwing marksman build, maybe that those exist as well. So there's a lot of cool stuff in Heartseeker.
And it is really important to note that this is a marksman specific ability. You cannot use this on Falconer or Blade Dancer.
Yes, this is only for marksman. Yep.
So it's past the chain, basically, is what you're saying.
I think it's a 30 point.
It's 30 points,
I would look at the game, but then I would show the skill tree, and I
don't want to. It's all good.
I don't think there's a lot of changes for the passives on marksman though, but yeah, it's locked to marksman.
Let's not get you sued. We appreciate the showcase. I did have a question though regarding like extra skills past the chain, right? We know there's one lacking for the lich, and we know there was one missing for the paladin. Is that still the case for season 2?
Yes. The only brand new ability for season 2 is Heartseeker. And it's a doozy. There's Volatile Reversal is essentially a new skill because it's so heavily reworked. But yeah, the only new one is Heartseeker. We are still looking to I know what the we as a team, we know what the I love this build. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by card playing. We know what the abilities that are going to go in those slots are going to be, and we have started working on some of those new abilities for future updates.
That sounds amazing. I mean, right now we have like this electrical theme going on for the paladin specifically. Would it be a far stretch to seize another type of minion archetype for that? I'd have to ask. I'm sorry, it's just me.
I think we're going to be leaning more into the holy warrior side of the character than the minion side, because we want to keep minions more a focus on Forge Guard than on Paladin. So I think that's unlikely.
Okay.
The ability's not made yet. What happens in development room?
Yeah, I got some ideas. Just hit me up.
Yeah, I think it's time to for me to close this, so to not keep Mike distracted. Sorry, my bad.
All good.
So yeah, I'll close the stream.